Hi, folks. My name is Chelsea Hanoun. I'm an exchange and study abroad coordinator for Acadia-University. And today we're doing a student-led info session for the University of Newcastle. So I'm going to pass the torch to our friends over here.
Hi, my name is Quinn. I went on exchange in Newcastle last semester, so February to June 2023.
Hi, I'm Taylor. I'm from the University of Newcastle, currently on exchange at Acadia.
Hi, I'm Jasmine. I'm also from the University of Newcastle on exchange at Acadia.
Alrighty, so we're going to jump into our presentation. Okay, so Newcastle is located on the east coast of Australia. It's 2 hours away from Sydney, 2 hours north of Sydney, and an hour north of the Central Coast. Probably a 10-hour drive from Brisbane.
It's also 3 hours on the train if you need to catch the train from Sydney to Newcastle.
Yeah,
you can do pretty easily.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Yeah, super easy to travel other places. One thing about Newcastle too is they have, instead of a 1 week study break, it's 2 weeks. So when I was there, I did like a trip to Perth and then Singapore also, which was super cool. Next.
Okay, so about Newcastle, it's the second largest city in New South Wales, so just under Sydney, and the seventh largest in Australia. So there's quite a bit to do there. Quite a bit to do there, I guess. Pretty casual vibes. Called Nui, usually that's what we call it. And like you can always go to the beach. Like there's heaps of bushland and like walks, like very outdoorsy in the summer, especially if you go in like your second semester, our first, like the February to June semester. That's like pretty warm weather then. It's also cheaper than living in Sydney.
And you said bushland?
That's
like crown land or
it's like
forest.
Like nature walks and stuff.
Alrighty, so studying and living in Nui. So we're home to a lot of world-class beaches. We're an hour away from some of the best wineries in Australia. Where we live is called the Hunter region. So that's just the region of where we live. And in there we have sand dunes where you can go sandboarding. We've got whale watching, dolphin cruises, camel riding, and quad bike riding. So we'll go into a bit of the things that you can do in the Hunter region or Newcastle.
Katie's getting very excited.
So we have some of the best surfing in Australia, I would argue. We have some of the best surf breaks. Surfing on the East Coast is much better than surfing on the West Coast because we have a lot more surf. We do have a big surf contest called Surf Fest hosted in Newcastle. This happens every year, and we have surfers from all around the world come and compete.
And could you see that like first semester or second semester?
It's in February. So
I went.
Yeah,
it was cool.
It's usually at Bar Beach, isn't it?
Yeah. Or Merriweather Beach. Yeah. If you're a surfer, just let me know because I do know some good places to surf in Newcastle, and I can let you know where some of the most popular places to surf is.
So hit up Taylor.
Yeah.
There's a lot of beaches in Newcastle. Because we're right on the coast, the whole stretch of the coast has home to many different beaches. So this one pictured here is Nobby's Beach. It's quite a large beach. It's got some volleyball nets and there's a lot to do. My favorite beach in Newcastle would probably be Bar Beach. It's a really nice beach, very family friendly, but there's so many other beaches in Newcastle as well.
And they're all pretty easy to get to from campus as well, like our public transport to the beach is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is Merriweather Ocean Baths. So Merriweather is just down the strip from Bar Beach, and these are like kind of like they're like pools but with ocean water. So like if the surf is too rough or you just feel like having more of a casual swim, like these good option. And there's also baths at Newcastle Beach as well. So but Merriweather ones are probably a little bit nicer.
Is that the picture that you shared with me, Quinn?
This one? No, I didn't take this one.
But I remember you sent me a photo and there's like people swimming. And
that's at the bogey hole.
Okay.
Yeah, which is like another.
I don't think we have a slide
way.
On that, but like
No.
it's
very cool.
Where is that up from?
It's like above
Newcastle Beach.
Yeah. It's like
no, it's like it's like between Newcastle Beach and then.
Yeah, it's like a man-made rock
side.
pool. Like it's very easy to find.
Yeah.
It's just like look up the bogey hole, or like if you have friends, someone would know where to go to take you there.
It's very cool. Easy to find for sure.
Don't go there on high tide though, because your stuff will get washed away.
Oh yeah,
that's happened to me.
I've been knocked off the thing, like standing on the edge of giant wave forward.
My phone fell in there once when I was a teenager because the tide was so high.
Like fell in off
Yeah, like
there.
it went in the water, never to be seen again.
Whoa,
Yeah.
jeez.
Warning.
Yeah, fair warning, be careful of your stuff if it's high tide. This is the lighthouse. So the beach pictured before is Nobby's. So you'll be able to see the trail from this. This is like a walk, and you can walk up to the lighthouse. It's like a break wall. Pretty popular for people like walk their dogs or just go for a walk. Like actually any time of year, really. It's pretty nice. Fair warning, don't go at night. There is a lot of rats. During the day, very nice.
This is Blackbutt Nature Reserve. It's located about 10 minutes away from campus, and it's a small little nature reserve that's home to a lot of our Australian animals. So wombats, koalas, emus, kangaroos. It's just a very, very small reserve that you can go and visit some of the Australian animals. They do have a very nice koala enclosure, and you can meet the koalas, and it is very, very close to campus as well. It's got a really nice area where you can have picnics, and you can also go on some really nice nature walks in Blackbutt.
And the exchange group did like a organized tour there when I went there, so we'll probably be having me again.
Is that cut off the writing?
Yeah.
Oh well.
If you like shrink yours on the side, maybe. Like
Yeah.
squeeze the whole tab. But
It's okay. We
Oh,
can
well.
just keep going.
I'll upload the slides.
I don't know why it's doing that.
Okay, these are the Stockton Sand Dunes, which is about, I would say, like 50-minute drive from campus, or you can catch the bus, or like however you guys will get around to Newcastle, and you can take the ferry across to Stockton, which is like not too much, and it's not very far on the ferry, and then you can there is a beach there also, there's like a swimming beach and then a dog beach, and you can also like go quad biking on the sand dunes, or I think you could go sandboarding as well. There's like a bit to do there in the summertime, so that's pretty cool.
Alrighty, so about an hour away from Newcastle is the Hunter Valley. So it's a really nice wine region. There's lots of wineries, very similar to the Annapolis Valley. So if you want to go out for a day tour and do some winery tours, it's very nice, very easy to get to. There's a lot of buses that you can book that do wine tours from Newcastle to the Hunter Valley.
What's like the legal drinking age?
It is 18. Around the whole of Australia. So everyone going on exchange would probably be legal drinking age. Next slide we've got here. I just want to preface, you might not be able to see the titles on these slides. So if you really want to have a better look, Chelsea's going to upload them for you to have a look. So walking trails. So there are a lot of, in Newcastle, it's, sorry.
It's like a very active, everyone's pretty active.
Yeah, very close to nature. So there's a lot of walking trails in Newcastle. Some that I would suggest that is worth getting a look at is Glenrock. It's a very big nature reserve, and there's a lot of walking trails in there. It's right in the heart of Newcastle, and it also connects to a lot of beaches. It's got a lot of native plants and animals in there as well, especially birds. Another nature walk I would say is Blackbutt Reserve, like the same place as the other one. And then there are also some really nice walks along the beach, the Anzac Walk near Bar Beach, and the walk from Bar Beach to Merewether Beach is very nice as well. Picnics. So there's a lot of places to go have picnics. This one pictured here is Hickson Street Lookout, and you can actually have a look of a lot of the coastline of Newcastle. If you go up here, it's a perfect picnic spot. Very, very popular in the summer, so it does get very busy, but it is a beautiful view of Newcastle and the coastline, so definitely worth checking out.
There's also, people get married up there a lot. Like there's a lot of weddings up there in the summertime, so
Good people watching.
yeah. So like in Newcastle, especially during the summer, we have a lot of events and festivals. So like like as Taylor talked about before, Surf Fest is on there, and like the supercars. Most of these are right in town. So like the station, that's the old Newcastle interchange. You guys will probably catch the train in there. And like the station, they have like market stalls and like just like family event days. And actually, if you guys come in the second semester, they have an Oktoberfest there as well. The night markets sometimes are at Spears Point, and then like the Jets and the Knights, they're like our home soccer team and like rugby teams, because like rugby is our big sport over there, so they're pretty good to watch. The atmosphere is pretty good there, so would suggest at least going to one of those games while you guys are there. Yeah, there's quite a bit to do, but it's very well like promoted. Like it's you'll probably hear about, like if something's happening, it will be promoted a lot. Like you'll know what's going on. So
yeah, so most of those things that are happening will be at McDonald Jones Stadium, which is in Broadmeadow. So it's probably only 10 minutes away from campus. That's our big stadium. So that's where all the Newcastle Jets games and the Newcastle Knights games will go on. We also have a lot of concerts, like lots of artists will come there and have concerts as well. Nightlife. So we have a slide on nightlife. It's significantly more diverse than it is here at Acadia.
yeah,
There's a lot more places to go.
it's
And
very much like clubbing and bars though, like not like house parties and stuff like that. It's very much like going out, because it is a city, like so it is like going out. Like on a Wednesday night, that's student night. Usually most people go to the Argyle. And then,
Yeah, on every night of the week, there's like a place to go for a student night if you want like the deals.
especially if you live on Res,
Yeah.
they usually like promote that to you
Yeah,
guys.
like the residence I live was like sponsored. Well, all the residents are like sponsored by different clubs or bars. You get like faster entry there and like all these kind of like little perks, which is nice.
And then yeah, like, and even for like, even if on regular nights, like Wednesday is student night, but anyone can go. Thursday, like a lot of people go out on a Thursday just to like a bar or something. Friday, Saturday, normal weekend, and then Sunday is like everyone will tend to go to Queen's Wharf, like
Which
and
is like the bottom left corner.
yeah, so it's
picture.
like it's like right on the water, like it's like an outside kind of club thing. It's very very cool in summer because it's like hot out, still warm out, so it's like very nice.
good sunset.
Yeah. But if you go there, go early, because it does end at midnight since it's a Sunday, and the line is very long if you go any later than like 6 o'clock. So get in there early.
also, all our clubs close at 3 a.m.
Yes. And a lot of the time you will have to pay a $10 entry. Actually, only to some. Some have like entry fees, some don't.
If you're a student, you can get into most places for free, most nights of the week, not all nights. But
Do you have to have your student card?
yes.
Or sometimes you
Or
have
something
to.
on your
Sometimes
phone.
they'll like post a link that you have to register, like that you're a student. You have to show them that you've registered. Like that's what King Street used to do. I'm not sure if they still do, or you just have to pay. But like if you go to like Finnegan's or the Dell, like which you guys you'll know about when you get there. Like they're always free entry. So
Oh,
This was you again.
okay. So living in Newey, so it's a very laid back coastal lifestyle. Everyone is very chill, goes with the flow.
Super welcoming too. Like it's easy to strike up conversation with anyone, I found at least.
Right in town, there's lots of cafes and lots of breweries, lots of nice places to eat, and yeah, right in town. That is probably about 15 minutes away from campus where everyone will be staying.
from Callaghan, from New Space is right in town, but you guys won't be. There's no residences in there. There's no like you won't live on campus in there.
It's a lot bigger than Acadia, like a lot bigger. I would have, what did we say, like 3 times, 4 times size,
no.
even more?
10,
Well,
12.
Yeah.
well, like Acadia has
Crazy.
roughly like what 2,500 students, and we have over 37,000. So.
Yeah, a lot more. So definitely bigger. You won't be like walking down the street and see everyone you know like you do on Main Street. But yeah, lots of international students also, which is really nice. Lots of events put on by the international student people and like the exchange groups. But yeah, just pretty prepared for a bigger campus, and it's a city instead of a little town. So.
Yeah, give yourself time to walk to class.
Mhm.
Like if you live on campus, and you have a class on the Hunter side, like it could take like sometimes from some spots in campus it takes half an hour to walk from one spot to another. So give yourself time to get into class, know where your classes are.
And is that for like Callaghan to Callaghan or Callaghan
Yeah,
to
no.
New?
No,
Or you
Callaghan,
can't walk.
Callaghan to New Space walk would take hours. Like
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
a bus
it's like
ride.
a 15-20 minute drive. Like
In traffic.
yeah.
Wow.
So we have 3 different locations for our universities. Newcastle or the Callaghan campus is where most of our studies are done and where everyone will live. The Newcastle City campus is our business and law school. So if you're a business or law student, you'll be doing class there. And we have a campus on the Central Coast, which is basically kinesiology. I don't think we offer those classes for exchange students though, but that is another option for a campus.
And then Callaghan, so Taylor goes to Newcastle City, new space, and then so Callaghan is where like everything else is except for like business, law, and you can take some kinesiology courses here. Like you can take like nutrition. Most physio is done in the Central Coast, but some here. But this is the one that has 2 sides. That's like really really big. So like this is where like all our arts courses and like pretty much everything is, except for like business, law, and some kin courses. On this campus too, there's like a few cafes, and there's also a bar. Like it's called Bar on the Hill, and like there's a lot of like concerts there and stuff, and like events run by the uni will be held over on that side. And like it's like, I don't know what it's called, but there's like a little park near there as well where a lot of on-campus events happen. So that's like a nice spot to hang out in the summertime. And then same with like the picture here, this is the Shortland building, which is like right near the library. There's a few cafes in there, a shop, a Subway. Like a lot of people just go in there to study. Like, so Callaghan is like, it's a big campus as well. There's like a few little like other like food places and stuff on campus that you can walk to in between classes, which is nice.
Right, so this is the Newcastle City campus, or you will commonly hear it referred to as New Space. It's 8 stories and it is quite small. It's only 1 building, but it is right in the heart of Newcastle in, we would say, the CBD, the Central Business District, where all the offices and lots of work is about. It's in that one. So it's the campus that I go to, and it's about 15-minute drive away from the regular campus, but there is a shuttle that the university offers only for university students. It runs every 45 minutes between the Newcastle City campus and the Callaghan campus. Very accessible, very easy to get. It goes straight from one to the other and takes you straight to the Shortland building or other residence buildings. There's a couple stops in Callaghan, as it is a big campus. There's a couple stops in there, but there's no stops in between. It just takes you to and from each campus. It's a perfect location. It's really great. So there's a light rail, or you would call
like a streetcar.
A streetcar, like in Toronto, how you have those. There is one right outside of here, and it goes straight to the beach. It'll take you less than 5 minutes to get to the beach from this campus. It's also very close walking distance to a lot of cafes, coffee shops, and lunch spots. It is also very close to our nightclubs and our bars, but you might not stay all the way. You might not stay there
Like
the whole day. Yeah.
So the shuttle is free for students.
Yes.
What about public transit? Is there like a student discount, or how does that work?
Oh, you can get, so I would say get an Opal card. That is what we get. That's what we catch our buses with. But you can get a student Opal card where you have cheaper rates for catching the bus and or train.
One thing is, make sure you do tap on the trains and stuff, because they will they're very strict about checking that you have paid, and the fine isn't much more, like it's not worth paying the fine than like the $1 it is to catch the tram.
Yeah. You can tap on with your phone, your credit card. You can use that, but it is much cheaper to get a student Opal card because that is our transport card. Yep.
So this is the Wallatuka Institute, which is like the indigenous kind of building it's on the Callaghan campus. I had one of my classes there because I was in an Introduction to Aboriginal Studies class. It's just a great little place to hang out even. There's lots of events that go on there. Great to learn about the history of Aboriginal people in Australia too while you're there. They often have like free food going on too, which is nice. So little snacks you can grab. And yeah, a really cool place to just hang out for sure and study too. Good study spot. In terms of campus life, I spent a lot of my time on campus because I lived on campus, on the Callaghan campus. Some fun things that happen are like there's free lunches every Wednesday called a sausage sizzle, which is basically just like hot dog barbecue. But there's no hot dog
Much
bun.
better.
It's a piece of bread folded in half.
Usually do they cook onion there?
Yeah, and caramelized onion, which is really good.
We
So
should have
yeah,
put a picture in.
we should have. But trust me,
Sausage
it's good.
sanger. If someone says they're going for a sausage sanger, that's what they need.
Yeah. So yeah, free Wednesday lunches. We would always go to those. There's lots of music competitions that go on Bar on the Hill, or like little concerts and things. There's lots of different places to study. One of my personal favorites was just the main library. A lot, I would say, more advanced looking than the Acadia one. It's like nice big glass windows and all this stuff, which is cool. There's a pharmacy on campus. There's lots of little shops like Subway or all the cafes that were mentioned. And there's always lots of events happening. Like there was a pop-up thrift store one time. So yeah, lots to do on campus too. In terms of getting around, I personally got a bike while I was there, which I would really, really recommend. Like, I don't know what I would have done if I didn't get this bike because I used it actually every day. It made a half-hour walk like a 5-minute bike ride, so it was really handy. And yeah, I did my biggest ride. I put in, I Stravaed it. It was a big tour all around Newcastle. That was like on one of the last days I was there, so that was fun. Yeah, there's also lots of buses and things that we mentioned to get around, but the bike was definitely easy to get just to the grocery store if you needed a quick thing or stuff like that.
And are there like Facebook groups for like buy and sell bikes,
Yeah,
or is there a rental program?
There was no rental program that I found or anything, but maybe there is. I've have to look into that. But I just bought it off Marketplace, and like a few weeks before I went, I was messaging people being like, "Hey, like I'm gonna be there these days. Can I come check out this bike?" So I got it on like the third day I was there. It was one of my top priorities for sure. This is another thing on campus called the Forum. There's also one beside New Space too. It's just like a big recreation complex. There is a $200 fee for like the semester pass. Like it's not included in your tuition, like it is I think at Acadia. So yeah, you do need to buy the membership. There is lots to do. Really nice gym, nice pool. Like it's a 100-meter swimming pool or 50-meter swimming pool, which was really nice. Yeah, lots of like leagues to get involved with too, like recreation, like basketball leagues, rugby leagues, all that stuff.
Yeah, we don't have any varsity sports though.
Yeah.
We do have a lot of like club sports that might be worth checking out if you guys are interested in it.
I remember being there trying to explain varsity sports, like the high level sports. And everyone's like, "What do you mean?" I was like,
It's surprising they didn't get it.
It's
like,
just not affiliated with the school at
Yeah.
all. If you
It's
play
just like
high level
club.
sports, it's not
yeah, it's
during
just like
school.
Mhm.
But the Forum is probably some of the best facilities in the whole city. Lots of really high level athletes actually use these facilities that are not affiliated with the school. So they are very nice facilities.
there also is like a basketball court and just stuff like that on campus at Callaghan.
Yeah, like outdoors.
Yeah, like there's a lot of outdoor things that you can just go and use if you like. I don't know,
Mhm.
do that.
In terms of clubs and societies, there's tons to join. Personally, I joined the Mountaineering Club and Ultimate Frisbee team, which was super fun. The Mountaineering Club, these are some pictures from the canyoning trip I did, and it was a great way to like explore Australia because we got to like go explore the Blue Mountains. I went caving, did a bunch of cool stuff. They also have weekly climbing nights, and it's like you pay a membership fee to be in the club, but then if you go to like 3 climbing nights, you've already paid that membership off. So yeah, it was a great way to meet people outside of like the campus too. Then to find out what clubs and societies there are in the first week or two, there was a club fair that goes on, and I think it happens in both semesters. So yeah, there's like tons of things you can join. There's like DJ club, like all the different language clubs, all this cool stuff that you can do.
So you
Ski
pay
club.
a membership per each club?
Yeah, per each club, most of them have a membership that you pay. And then like each trip like costs a little bit more as well. So yeah. Some of the courses that are recommended you could take maybe. I took the Introduction to Aboriginal Studies one, and And then if we go to the next one, I also took 2 criminology classes because I don't think we have those at Acadia, so those seemed interesting to me. And then global poverty and development, which was like most aligned with what I'm actually studying here, which is community development. So they all counted as elective courses, transferred back here. And since I only took 4 courses there, which is like the max, or not max course load, but like normal course load for Australia compared to like 5 courses here, they all transferred back as 3.75 credits, which was really nice. So yeah, that was good.
I would also say, because we are a much bigger university, we do have a lot more electives to offer. So it is worth checking out something that is not offered at Acadia.
Yeah, definitely.
Would you like consider overloading and taking 5?
There?
Yeah.
You definitely could have. At school there, I found easier, especially because the courses I were taking were like first year, second year courses, and like just like elective courses for most people, anyways. But yeah, so yeah, you definitely could take 5, but if you don't need to.
We still got a full
Yeah.
semester worth of credits.
So. Relax, yeah.
It sounds nice. It's not just like the second part. Yeah.
In terms of on-campus accommodation, there's 9 residences, lots of beds, lots of people live on campus. It's a little bit more expensive. I think it was a little bit more expensive overall than living on campus here. But it was a great experience. I loved living on campus. Meal plans are for some of the residences, but not some of the other ones. So the one I lived in had a meal plan, and so it was just dinner. So breakfast and lunch you had to fend for yourself. But there's little kitchenettes with like microwaves and like fridges and that kind of stuff. And you can bring your own like little appliances if you want, like a panini press or something like that, or toasters. And then the one I lived in was called Edwards Hall, which aka we called it TEDS, and it was like 400 people, split into 2 buildings. So there was the catered option, which I had because I was in what's called Main Hall, which is like the classic kind of dorm style like we have here. And then you walk over to the where the meal hall where the food is. And then there's this area called Selfies, which is like self-catered. And if you're in that or in any of the other residence buildings, you have like a full kitchen set up, and then like however many roommates are in there too, and a full like kind of living room.
And does Newcastle like offer like kits for like kitchen supplies, utensils, or like bedding or things like that, or do you have to like pre-order that?
Not for kitchen supplies, I'm not sure. I didn't do that at least, or there's none that I know of. But for bedding, yeah, I bought like the basic pack that came with like when you like sign up for residence and stuff, and it was just the basic things you need, which was perfect for only being there for like 1 semester. Yeah, lots of events. It was great fun, good times. So yeah, some of the benefits of living on campus. There's the Res Life program, and like there's lots of safety and security stuff, and residential mentors. Those are the people like kind of like the RAs who live in the residence with you, and like they don't really police as much as they do at Acadia, which is kind of nice. They're more like more peers and just kind of helping, like can guide you to different resources if you need. And then there's like safety and security who do things like if people are drinking too much or stuff like that, they take care of that stuff. Yeah, I think that's about it. Any questions from either of you? Right. Yeah. Yes, they're all co-ed, but you have your own. It's no like double rooms. Everyone has their own room. Yeah, so it's like if you lived in any of the other residences besides TEDS, it would be like it's kind of like a little apartment basically, and then you just have your roommates. But for TEDS, it was like a classic dorm where everyone has like shares the hallway. Yeah.
So you could have like a co-ed suite.
Yeah.
Or like
Exactly.
Yeah.
With full kitchen and everything. Yeah.
If you were to like be out at night, like
Mhm.
living on campus, does the shuttle run at night, or how would you get back at night?
There's just the normal buses
Shuttle,
at night.
yeah. The shuttle doesn't, but there is
Regular
the buses. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that you would use the pass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Opal.
But
card, yeah.
there is like a last bus time, so you just have to make sure that you like know when the last bus time is for that night. And sometimes if you're like, say you're at this bar and you want to get the bus, everyone's gonna be going for the last bus. So if you walk back a stop, that's like a smart move, so you make sure you get on the bus
We
Before it
also
fills up.
before it fills up.
Ubers,
Because sometimes
yeah,
they will just go
Ubers
away.
are very easy to get.
Yeah.
Very easy to
Mhm.
get. If you go a little bit earlier, they can be cheaper to
Right.
get back from in
Mhm.
town. When I go out, I always usually use an Uber to get home. So they are very accessible and a lot cheaper than. And taxis are a lot cheaper than they are here.
Taxis are more expensive than Ubers though, and like another thing is that like if you make friends and they have cars, they'll pick you up. If you like say I'll give you $10 to come and get me, like someone will do it. Like
Is there like an app you like? I know like in Halifax, like for the bus, there's like an app.
Yeah.
So
The
if you
Opal
download
app.
the Opal app, it was like,
there we
and there's
go.
also one called Next there, which is like that runs the train, so you can put in like what station you're at and what station you want to go to, and it will give you like all the trains coming, and then it will say like if it's all stops or some stops. And
That's the same with Opal. Opal does the trains as
Mhm.
well.
And
yeah.
I just use Google Maps the whole time too. Like
yeah,
that works too.
You can also
There's
top up
tons
your
of-
Opal card, put more money
Yeah.
onto it through the app.
Yeah.
So yeah, when you get an Opal card, definitely get the app. You can check
do it
how
at the
much
train
money you've
station
got.
too if you need to do it with cash or something like that.
But yeah, that's probably the biggest thing about coming to Newcastle. New South Wales, every state has a different transport service, but Opal is the one in New South Wales. So you can catch the train to Sydney, catch the train out to the Blue Mountains or something like that.
So how long is the train to Sydney?
3 hours.
Or it's a 2-hour drive usually,
But
depending on
it's
traffic.
perfect, and it's a nice like kind of view. What's the
Is
one
it-
spot with the water
Sweet
and the,
River.
yeah.
What would you like compare like anywhere in Canada, like the size of Newcastle? Like Halifax or like bigger than
It's
No,
bigger
it's
than
much bigger than
Halifax.
Halifax.
Okay.
There's about 800 to 900,000 people that live in Newcastle.
Okay.
But it's not a city. It's not built up. There's no skyscrapers.
Yeah,
like
There's
Toronto or
no.
anything like that.
It's very spread out.
Because it's a coast, we're a coastal city, so it's not like
It's just lots of different suburbs kind of amalgamated, and then the one like the CBD area, which is like basically the downtown. Yeah. But no skyscrapers, yeah.
Did you need a local bank account when you went?
I didn't get one because I didn't think I would need one. But then I had like a medical cost come up, and for my health insurance that I had to pay like for it, I had to get a bank account, but it was like super easy to open one. I just like walked into the bank and was like, hey, I need like a bank account for literally like 2 months. And then I would just spend all the money that came back on like groceries and then shut the account out.
What
So-
about your phone? What did you?
Oh yeah, when you get to the airport, you just there's like a bunch of SIM card companies there, and it's good to like research what kind of plan you want beforehand, so you know which one to get when you get there, and then you just buy it right at the airport. And then before I left the airport, I like waited for like half an hour for it to all like sync up because it takes a little bit just to make sure that it was like working, and then I went off the train.
Yeah, and if you look at the plans in advance, you can know what a good price is, so
Mhm.
you don't get ripped off.
Swindled, yeah.
What phone plan do you guys use?
I'm on like a prepaid one, so I just pay month to month. I don't have like a phone plan as such,
Mhm.
but mine's like through Aldi Mobile, which it's actually pretty cheap.
What is it?
ALDI.
Yeah, it's like run through like the grocery. So like it's
One
actually
of the stores.
our like big like SIM card companies are like Telstra and Optus, and so Aldi's actually like a grocery store, but they operate through Telstra. So that's like the
Yeah. Optus, Telstra, and Vodafone would be our big. You can get cheap plans through there.
Noted.
But they won't have they like the one I have, they won't have those at the airport. You have to buy them there.
Yeah, I just did the prepaid
you
one
look
like
at, like,
6 months.
If you like look it up and like you want to get that one, like I'm happy we can just make stuff. Like it doesn't matter.
Jasmine's a little chauffeur.
Well, I know how annoying it is to like not
Yeah.
know anyone, and like it's so hard to like do anything when you don't know anyone or
When you
anything.
first get
like,
here,
It's
yeah.
like you just feel so like honestly you just feel stupid. You're like, what am I doing? Where am I? Like,
Why is it so hot here all of a sudden? I like flew from like minus like 20 where I was to like
Right.
plus 30. I was like, what's going on? This is crazy.
Any other questions?
I'm wondering, Quinn, like what made you like choose Newcastle, and like how did it like differ from like the Acadia experience versus like
I think living in a big city was like a obviously big difference, and I enjoyed it. I mean, they both have their benefits. Like small town Wolfley, you can walk everywhere, but Newcastle, there's kind of like more things to do, like more events going on and things like that, which is nice. I chose it because I had a friend who went on exchange like 2 or 3 years before me. Her name's Erica, and she loved it. Told me all about it on like a trip we did together back in second year. So I was like, oh, like, and I was never planning to do exchange when I first came to university. And I was like, oh, I'll just go to the exchange meeting, why not? And I was like, oh, okay, I'll fly. And then I got in, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess I would put this on as my first. And then I got in, and I was like, oh, great, okay. So, and I was like, okay, mom, dad, like, I'm going to Australia next year. They're like, okay, like, well, what do we need to do? How do we prepare? Whatever. So it was not like a big planning thing for me, but just kind of went for it and loved it. No regrets. Yeah.
And what about like academically? Like what was like the structure academically, or how were courses different?
Yeah,
Professors.
All my professors were really great, super helpful. There's like almost like 2 kind of professors for each course, because there's like the course instructor and the one who teaches the tutorials, and then there's one who like grades things and like organizes it all. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the one professor I wouldn't interact with, but then the instructors that I would interact with more. And then instead, like for me in community development, I don't have any labs. So when I got there, like my courses had like a tutorial section and then a lab section. And they were spread out a lot differently, like at different times, and sometimes different times each week. Just depended. So
One thing that like I found is that like here I'm in class like every day,
Mhm.
whereas at home like it's quite easy that you can schedule your classes so you only have to be in class like 2 days a week.
yeah, I had Monday and Friday off, so I
Yeah,
That's
like
what I
like in my first year I only went to university Monday and Thursday like all year. Like every other day of the week I was at work. I didn't go every single day to campus at all.
Mhm. Yeah.
And did your Australia visa allow you to work if you wanted?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, it does. The student one covers work too. One of my friends worked at this place called Bakehouse on campus, which
Oh,
makes
yeah.
like these little meat pies. So good. So if you're looking for a good little
Yeah, I
campus
need
job,
to.
she loved it.
So if you could structure your classes to be on like certain days, then you could also commit to working certain days and then pay for your weekend travels.
Exactly.
There we go.
Perfect.
And if you work, you will be in the very large majority because every
Yeah.
university
Mhm.
student works.
That's
So
why the nights
it's-
for going out I feel like are so different. Like here it's like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. There it was like completely opposite because everyone works hospitality. It feels like at least for like the residents I was in. So
Yeah, hospital
Yeah.
or retail. That's
Yeah, husband
Yeah.
nights Monday.
yeah.
Is there anything that you like got there and you're like, why didn't I bring this?
A fan.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
But just order it to your
Right,
there.
ordering to residents, so like
Yeah.
they give you like a
Yeah, the address is just like in that west tower that there's like that's the office for all the residents stuff, and you can just order it to there. So
yeah, as I said, if you want, we can do it. We can do a trip.
Yeah.
It'll be cheaper that way. Like we can go to the shops and just get everything.
You've gotta
Not
go. You've gotta
everybody's
go to
gonna have a
Kmart.
Jasmine.
You've gotta go to Kmart for the
Yeah.
coffee.
yeah.
I guess like what other like advice like would you give to a student like considering going to Australia? Like it's a really big time difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, how was that? Or how's that
I think for me it was like not the worst. I would just wake up and like call home and say hi to everyone. Whenever
It's
I
like
wanted
either
to.
stay up a bit later, get up a
Yeah.
bit earlier. Like it's
Right.
not too bad.
Yeah, it's like almost exact opposite, which is
Yeah.
kind of nice. Like it worked out. Yeah.
Unrelated to talking to family, but like be very. I know this sounds silly, but like be very conscious of the sun. Like I know
Oh
like
my
everyone's
gosh,
like
yeah.
Australia is hot, but like you will get
No,
burned and you will like it's painful, it's awful. Like
Yeah.
be careful in the sun, wear sunscreen.
Do not bring sunscreen. Buy
Yeah.
it there because
Yeah,
our
it's different.
sunscreen
And-
is much different and
Oh,
is
better.
Much
for.
stronger. Also bring water. Like you will get heat stroke. Like
I got a
like
horrible burn on like my first time when I went to the
yeah, like
beach.
be careful in
Like
the heat.
actually.
The heat and the sun is no joke. Be careful.
I would like totally like go to the beach, like nothing. Like
Yeah, I
just to
know.
be like out of the negative degrees.
Oh god, no, you will actually burn.
Yeah, it's
Baby
so
becomes a lobster.
Buy some-
I've
buy
been
some
launched
aloe
it
vera.
You
so
see me like a
times.
day later.
Yeah, it's like, oh.
I'm like that color.
Yeah. That's happened to like it's always like when we used to come back from school holidays in the summer, like there'd be at least 5 people that were like color like at school.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's a lot of information.
Mhm.
So thank you for all of that.
No worries.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
What other advice would you give to Katie?
Yeah. Put yourself out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Don't just sit in your room.
Yeah.
Like if I get at the very beginning when I was there, I had like some homesickness like the first 2 weeks. But like I just started plopping myself in the main area, like just sitting doing work in like the little air conditioned room. And then that's how, you walk by, people are going somewhere. They're like, oh, do you want to come? So just don't hole up in your room.
And like, I feel like don't be afraid to reach out. Like, just,
Yeah.
if you want to do
Join
something, like
clubs.
ask someone. Like, don't be like, oh, I wish we could do this. Because like, I feel like when I first came here, I was like that. Like, I was like, oh, I want to do this, but like, I don't want to ask and be annoying. But like,
Mhm.
literally, I've never asked, and someone's been like, no. Like,
Oh yeah, I would
never.
ask for rides to all the time, especially to, like the climbing gym and stuff. I'd be like, who's all going climbing tonight? Who wants to pick me up? So
Yeah, and Australians and Canadians are very similar, very down to earth, very friendly, and
Everyone's-
very approachable and
Yeah.
nice.
I feel like everyone's very generous. Like, if you like said to someone like, I need to do this, they would like make time. Like, they're like,
Help
"Come on,
you.
like, we can go to the shops. Like, anyone would do that. Like, I feel like there's definitely some people, but like for the most part, everyone's very kind and like generous, I would say.
And what would make like an Acadia student blend in as a local? Can you teach them like Australian phrases or like what are some manners?
oh, everything ends in O. Arvo is afternoon.
Oh, we'd be
Servo
here for
is
hours.
gas station. Service
Yeah,
station.
we would be here for a long time. I feel like
You'll
we
pick
don't
it up
rea-
pretty quick.
You'll
we
pick
don't-
it up,
and,
yeah.
like, we don't realize that we have so much slang until we like speak to people
Yeah.
and they're like,
What's
huh?
that?
And like it's just in everyday sentences,
Yeah.
so you will pick up the slang very
yeah,
quickly.
It didn't take long.
If you don't know us, they'll think it's funny. Like,
Yeah.
they won't think it's
We were always comparing like slang. And
Yeah,
I would quiz them and be like, what's a toque? And everyone's like, huh?
I didn't know what that is.
It's
A
like
beanie.
a beanie.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was like, I know what a toonie is. If that's what you're
Toonie,
thinking.
toonie. Yeah.
So thank you all for tuning in. I am sure Jasmine and Taylor and Quinn would be like willing to connect with folks after the fact if you have any questions. So feel free to reach out to me and I will connect you with students. And thank you for attending. Bye.